I don't think you guys will be able to read it. A, because my handwriting's trash, and B, because it's in reverse. While we're watching this episode, I couldn't help but I've made comparative remarks between Yang and Leone, and I literally, if you could even see it, accidentally wrote Yang's name and then had to put the freaking arrow down to say I meant Leone. She gets her arm cut off. And the best part is, and I just realized it, she gets it cut off by a person dressed in black.
Oh, wow.
Cut off with a sword, same style.
He's dressed in black and red. Ah!
Are you sure it's not the same?
Oh, I laughed so hard. Oh man. Oh, there's a lot more that goes into that we'll see in the next episode, but oh man. Hi everyone, we're back again. It's been a little bit. This is my first break on a week-long tirade of having 70 hours into Horizon Forbidden West since it came out last Friday. Damn. And I've pretty much done just about everything in the game outside of the arena stuff. But good to take a little bit of a break and be doing this. I had a week off of work. Work got stressful. I had to do something. But so
to play the game. Don't lie.
What?
We took off to play the game.
I'm not lying whatsoever. It just happened to coincide of me having tough times at work, and I'm like, I get 10 days off, and I'm doing that. But so we get to see a little bit of how badass Sue is, which I'm just going to assume was going to be both of your comments.
It's one of them.
Yeah. So
it's been 2 hours.
Mike, what is your other one?
See, what's hard to talk about this episode is it's really just one long action sequence. That being said, you can list off favorite fight scenes like Tatsumi and, well, everyone he fights.
Pretty much. Keep going.
What was the name of the former tribesman, Henter?
Henter, yes.
That was a cool moment. Seeing Chelsea kind of in action was cool too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diving on in there. And then promptly running off. You get to deal with the big guy. Bye!
I think just generally speaking, I'm just going to say it. I just enjoyed this entire episode. It's great. As a whole.
It's great, and it goes like 1,000,000 miles an hour. It just never stops. It's something I like about it.
But I think the one definitive thing I can say is seeing the boss in action. Like most of the time that we've seen her so far, she's just kind of been like, the leader, the one like dishing out the orders. But actually getting to see her in combat was kind of awesome.
It was. There's a comment that was on the subreddit that was like someone talking about how it's like, boss, the entire time anyone dies on Night Raid. Yeah, so anyways, that sucks. I can't remember. I want to say it's on Top Gear where they have that meme from that guy goes, oh, that's awful.
Well, anyways.
Exactly. All business all day long. Just it never stops. But go ahead and sit for a little bit there, Sal, if you want to.
It was funny because when what's his name? But I was like, when this is over, I'm gonna confess my love. I was about to say simp alert, and then we see Sue, and I'm like, it's simping hours. I can't yell that there's a simp here if I'm gonna simp.
Sue is you're thinking of Lovick, but yeah, Sue is awesome.
Question: did he have to transform into a hotter version of himself?
For people like me, yes.
The best part about that is it's Sal said to the oh no, he's hot thing from SpongeBob. It's just like you already have this guy who is just looked like he's chiseled out of rock, and then somehow he adds another 16 onto the 8-pack that he already has, and you're just like, guy, none of us have a chance here before. Why did you even? And like this is what I brought up the Death the Kid comparison thing, because he literally brings up the symmetry of that chunk of rock that is on the piece. Like, I can't fight it. That's bugging the shit out of me. She's just like,
we gotta fix this later.
oh man. But yeah, going through some of the smaller parts of the episode, I love that instantly Sue goes, "You gave the wrong command. It is incredibly dumb for them to fight this thing with me. I don't need their help. Send them elsewhere." And the fact that Korome is going through her list of goons and she's like, "Oh, I found this testicle hibernating in a cave. Lucky, huh?"
Like, how lucky am I? I'm like, girl.
Like, you have one of the most powerful weapons conceived in anime, and you found a giant danger beast sleeping in a cave. I just love to think of the scene if she's just walking around and goes, "Oh,
it's sleeping.
be very, very quiet.
I'm hunting danger beasts."
I'm hunting danger beasts. Yes. And we got through most of that. I'm trying to think of how I can well, it will come up in the what changed from the anime or from the manga episode, but you guys saw that when Tatsumi fought, he got that weird cross shape in his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Have a note for that later.
All right.
just jot that down. Exactly. But so, and again, it just keeps going. So there's really no time stopping. You had the fights with Akame, Leone, Bulls, and Wall, which was the security guard guy. And that went for a while. You got, and I just have to show it since I have it up here, and since Masao was nice enough to put this together in about roughly 2 seconds. As you can see by the lovely
5 minutes,
the lovely symmetry cut here. Leone gets her arm cut off. I just had to instantly. She's just like, "Oh yeah, oh Dad, Ty, I hate it here."
Oh, it's like, control your daughter, yeah.
I can't with her spiritual other from it. I'm just like, one day Death Battle's got to do that. They already did her and Tifa. I'm like, come on, it's right there.
With the same character, so it will be a tie.
Not far off. I will tell you, there is a point where it's much later, but there's a point where Akame is upset about something. And she's like, "Don't worry, if I was a dude, I would totally sleep with you." And then she's like, "I'll just hold you." And Akame goes, "No, this is better. This is warm." Just Leone is made out to be a much more of a hornball in that manga than she is in this show. Holy crap. But yeah. So I gotta ask, did any of you actually think that Mine died when she got swallowed by that frog?
No.
I didn't either.
It didn't even faze me that anyone was going to die in this episode.
Yeah.
Because it seemed a bit too what's the word? Manic,
yeah. There wasn't one thing that I'll say about it with the deaths of all these people, there's genuinely some sense of ceremony around it, like it builds.
It builds up to it. And then it rains after the character dies because, anime trope.
It's one of my favorites. It really is. Cut to a picture of Simone, if I could get it, crying on the ship of the Tiger and Gunson. No, I'm crying. It's okay. Anyway. So, speaking of, we saw it earlier. When they were going to use Sue's trump card, were you expecting him to basically turn into Devil Trigger Sue, or were you expecting something else?
I was expecting a little more armor, kind of like his own version of Imperium.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what you're saying. Do you mean Curcio?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I was like, Imperium, like, is there another anime reference I'm not thinking of? Okay, but yeah, that was that, and that is dead on to what he looks like in the manga. So they copied that straight out, and the attacks as well. But yeah, he looks great, and I'm just always like, when that moment comes, I'm like, who is this? I'm like, oh yeah, S-Death is still there. I'm like, anyone else would just get squashed like a freaking bug fighting him. It's like he just deflects anything and then summons a giant sword and cuts that thing in half. without effort. And he just wasn't fighting it because you couldn't deal with symmetry. Now, I said that, excuse me, bitch, is one of my favorite line leads in the show. One of my other favorite ones. It's after Korome realizes that the frog was leaking the acid, and it totally defeated the purpose of swallowing mine. And she comes out and screams at the top of her lungs, okay, I'm about ready to kill a bitch.
Okay. I was like, that's my girl.
Oh, I don't know what it is about when they finally actually swear, and it's normally bitch whenever they say these lines like this, but it gets me every time.
It does.
And then the follow-up line is just as good. Don't look at me like that, pervert! How can you even tell where I'm
Don't
looking?
That whole exchange was great. And then the boss coming in.
Yes.
Would you two quit arguing? We're in the middle of a battle.
We're in the middle of a battle. Yes. And what you said earlier, you actually got to see boss fighting this with the most Japanese weapon ever, the freaking extendable jerk around fist, where she roundhouse kicks her former fellow general's head off. And it still fights. And he gets thrown in the way of the freaking Godzilla hyper beam and just it's just shattered.
I don't know why, but for some reason when the general got his head cut off, the first thing that came to my mind was the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm invincible.
Your arm's off. No, it isn't. Just put a scratch. What are you going to do? Bleed on me? I'll bite your kneecaps off. But who has not seen Monty Python, The Quest for the Holy Grail? Oh, it's fantastic. I barely ever remember anything outside of that until I start to think about it, but it seems so good. And then the animator suddenly had a heart attack and died. But so, one of the things that probably when you did it, probably one of the most badass things in the show that gets treated as absolutely nothing is that in her beast form, Leone is tough enough to bite the front of an Imperial arms clean off with her teeth.
Yep.
I'll give her that. That's pretty impressive. And then the cliffhanger. Do you want to give any guesses on the aftermath of that before we get to the next episode?
A lot of damage? Question mark.
Possibly.
I stand by my dad joke. That was an explosive ending.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and it's kind of done in the same way, except it's a little bit changed around. Most of the stuff is exactly the same, minus some talking bits, and then like the fight ending differently because they're going over pages. Like these fights take whole books through pointings, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. It's like I just went over the grand points. Any questions whatsoever?
I've got one. Who the hell are those people that Esdeath and their posse came across?
Randos.
Oh, just a random obstacle.
It's random. It's people that Najida kind of just put in the way, hoping they would make some kind of a dent while they.
Oh great! Oh right, those are like the reinforcements.
Yeah. It's like hopefully we can take care of some part of the team while Esdeath is away, and she's just like, you people are not going to kill Esdeath, but it's going to take her a little bit to kill you. So it is what it is. Yeah, that's kind of all they really are. I totally forgot up until this point that one dude has a heart with love tattooed out across his forehead. That's like, what? It's not the dumbest thing that I've seen in this. That will go into the What Changes episode, because, oh boy, there is going to be the rant to possibly end all rants that I've given on any medium that I've been on, that I have prepared for that, because, oh boy, am I not upset at all at the extra stuff they gutted. Events inside of it are good, but it's maybe 20% of the extra arc they threw in here. 80% of it, throw it in the trash.
I know we'll get to it later, but I just have to say, just from what I've heard, this kind of sounds like the opposite of filler. where the anime kind of cut out the fat instead of adding more.
The worst part is the storyline idea they had was good. They extended some things, they put spaces between major events, and they drawed it out. And to everyone's defense on the Reddit, there is some extra detail put in there about past events that make you look a little bit more apparent. But it's stuff that if you have pretty okay brain activity, you could have put it together on your own. And then they space out. They have things happen differently. Character fates are very different, but the way the show is taken about, it ending the way it ends in the anime is not a thing that wouldn't have happened in this world in the first place. That's why I'm not upset about it. It's a way that could end the exact same way, given the exact terminating factors. It's just that characters that are put in it to be in the Wild Hunt are things that I don't want to get into it a lot because boy, are we going to talk when that episode comes up, that made me want to physically repulse every time I saw 3/4 of them on the page. It was just more of the, hey, guys, guess what? The Empire's evil. In case you forgot, 2 pages later, we're going to do something incredibly heinous to make sure you know the Empire's evil. And in case you forget again, we're going to do it every 5 pages.
Oh, okay.
You want us to you want Night Raid to kill these guys, right? We're gonna make you really want to kill them, huh? That'll be good. Yeah, no, I wanted them to kill them when they showed up because they're the bad guys. I didn't need all that at all. No one did, and I will to this day fight anyone that says that they're upset that those character story arcs are in here because they're heinous as hell.
Got it.
That's what that is. But we'll get into that later because there is some good stuff that has changed as well that I would like to hear genuine opinions on that I think some of you are going to be genuinely upset aren't in it. But we'll do that when we get there. Anything else?
I think that's good for now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, like I said, there wasn't much to talk about in this. There will be in the next one. I can promise you that. Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I think we're going to end, if we do our regular 3, we're going to end on one. That's gonna really leave some stuff to talk about until the next time we record, if I'm remembering the sequence correctly. But, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser and the Banana Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need to escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And Rasa?
And you can find me on Twitter at Cable028.
And you can find me everywhere at Organoid0, mostly on Twitch. And until next time, we will see you all later.